So I'm going to be using this microphone today. I've been using my voice more than any other days. And we're going to start just like any other day by reciting Namo Tassa 3 times. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. I have to apologize to everyone today that we are going to have only 1 hour instead of 1.5 hours, like any other day, because it happened that on Tuesday, every Tuesday, I have 2 lectures, two 2-hour lectures, so that's 4 hours. And also in the morning, I have already had 1 Dhamma talk. So this is my second Dhamma talk of the day, and maybe if you don't count entertaining guests and all those things, this is my 4th session of the day. And today our topic is the wheel of life, karma, and rebirth. Okay. We can start from any of the 3 themes. We can, and they are related themes: the wheel of life, karma, and rebirth. I fancy starting with karma. And then I told you a little bit about wheel of life and rebirth. Just as I did yesterday, starting from some possible misunderstanding of karma. Okay. Yesterday, of course, the A4 part. Today, I'd like to talk about some misunderstanding even among the Buddhist practitioners of about karma. Karma is in Sanskrit form, karma is in Pali form. In Thai, they pronounce it as kam. And in Burmese, they pronounce it as kan. Of course, the Sri Lankan uses the Sanskrit form karma, or karma sometimes. Is well known to even people, outside the Buddhist tradition, that Buddhism believes in karma. Karma is, if you like, is a moral responsibility. On the first day, when we talk about life of the Buddha, we emphasize the action of human being, meaning human effort, is a human-centered practice. Buddhist practice is a human-centered practice based on human experiences. It doesn't mean that, okay, the philosophy and principles are not applicable to non-human beings. They are. The Buddha primarily used human experiences as his focus in his practice and in his teaching. In his teaching, of course, the principles, as I had just mentioned, that he has discovered based on human experiences are also applicable to something like heavenly beings, to the unfortunate realms, such as animals and hell, you know. So karma is, before we talk about some misunderstanding, let's talk about the pre-Buddhist background of karma. Karma, the word karma or kamma, has been used in pre-Buddhist Indian religious context also. In the earliest period, such as in the Vedic period, people say it means only ritual, some form of ritual, prescribed rituals, what you should be doing based on your birth. That is, people have classes. Over there in India, they call that caste system. So based on your caste, the prescribed ritual was karma, was called karma. Then karma, just before the Buddha came along, it started associated with some form of good and bad, an action of good and bad. But when the Buddha came along, the Buddha redefined karma. He said his intention is our volition that defines our action. Good action, bad action are defined by our volition. To injure somebody is bad, but if by accident you step on insect, for example, there is no bad intention. So there's no bad karma. Sometimes with all the good intention that we have, the results of our action doesn't reflect our intention. For example, a surgeon is trying to save a patient's life, but it turns out that the surgery is not successful and the patient dies. In that circumstance also, the surgeon doesn't accumulate any bad karma. His good intention, his good effort are what count. He is not in total control of the results, but he is in control of his intention. So you can see human effort, human control, human action is at the heart of the belief in karma. Sometimes we describe Buddhist karma as the law of moral responsibility. That is, we have to be responsible for our action. As Buddhism doesn't believe in a supernatural, almighty creator, So this theory of karma is, in that sense, theological. Theological in a sense, we create our destiny. We create our own life, our own status, starting with our intention behind every action, behind every speech that we make. So theological in a sense that there is no one who is there to take the responsibility for our action. Something like you do confession and then your sin is forgiven. You know, like in Abrahamic religious tradition. I have a lot of friends in Judaism, in Christianity and Islam, because I'm part of the Interfaith Forum in the UK and also in Myanmar. So we can't really blame someone, you know, for our misfortune, and we cannot give credit to anyone either for the good fortune that we have. So we talk about gratitude, but we don't talk about thanksgiving. Gratitude towards our parents, our teachers, our fellow human beings. We talk about gratitude to them. But thanksgiving in terms of thanking the Creator, no, there's no such thing, because we believe in karma. Karma is about, the theory of the philosophy of karma is about to encourage us to be active and to actively take control of what's happening in our life. This is to offer us courage that we have power to design our own life. So in that sense, okay, the word creature doesn't apply to the Buddhist theory of karma, because we are not creature. If we ever are, then we are our own creature. So the law of moral responsibility, in a sense that we have to take the responsibility of our action. And when we use the word moral, that means is a conscience, okay, this is also a conscious a conscious undertaking, and the obligation that we have towards the society. So karma, in that sense, it has social implication. What we do, it has negative impact on us and on other people. Certainly there is social implication of our action. So karma is about social responsibility as much as moral responsibility. If karma is to actively encourage us to reflect on not just what we do, but also our thoughts, our thinking behind our action. And in that case, karma is a very active philosophy. It's about active participation, active and conscious participation. Now, let me say a little bit about some misunderstanding. This is serious. Okay, this is serious. There are people, whenever anything unfortunate happens to them, they will blame their karma, or is due to my karma. Meaning, they automatically and passively, I choose these two adjectives carefully, they automatically and passively feel resigned to the misfortune befalling on them. They are not actively making effort to improve the situation. So they are kind of resigned to what is happening. And they blame their past karma. Actually, some people, when they say karma or karma, they just have the past in their thought, not the present. Not the present moment, and certainly not the present effort. Not the present effort. During the Buddha's time, there was a debate between the Buddha and somebody called Upali, who was a very successful businessman and who followed Jainism. Because Jainism also believe in karma. But the way the Jain interpreted karma is that they emphasize on the past. So what's happening now is due to past karma, and what you have to do is to repay that. You need to follow, asceticism, which is almost self-torture, so that you undo your past bad karma. So the Buddha asked him, do you know how much past karma that you have undone and how much is left to undo? A very simple question. By this, the Buddha is indicating we cannot take karma in a fixed and mechanical manner. Even if I have done something good, okay, for that good action to bring results, I still need other conditions. In the same way, if I have done something bad to someone, but for that action to bring its consequences, we still need other, conditions. If I continue to improve myself, to do good karma all the time, then my bad karma, some of my bad karma, or a lot of my bad karma, they may never bear fruits because they don't get the condition, the supportive conditioning. So karma is like seed, if you like. For a seed to become, to grow as a sprout, as a plant, you need to plant it, you need to water it, you need some fertilizer, you need some oxygen, maybe some sunshine. Most of the plants, some of the plants, they don't like sunshine, but most of them, they do. So those are the conditions. Those are the conditions. So in the same way, karma or karma in order to bring fruit, it requires other conditions. If we believe that everything is due to past karma, then we are actually saying that what is happening here is predetermined. So it's like strict determinism. I use the word strict determinism, which is not karma. Karma is not like that. I'd like to explain this. I made a point in explaining this because, okay, when we say in Thai, when we say kam, we just focus on the negative things. Un and kam. Un and kam. Unya, that is usually translated as marriage, then that means good karma. But when we say just karma, when we say kam, it means bad karma. Say, for example, kukam. Kukam, that is companion or karma, or partner in karma, in karma. That means the people, we suffer together. We are here to suffer together. It has that meaning. And in Burmese too, the word karma and karma, they take it separately. The word Sanskrit karma, it has been modified and Burmanized in a way that it comes to pronounce as Jamma. When the Burmese use the word Jamma, they means fate, F-A-T-E, fate. That is something like everything is predetermined, like fatalism. Karma is not fatalism. Actually, the word kan and Jamma, these two Burmese words, they come from the same thing. They mean karma. But the Burmese kind of Burmanized them, and the Sanskrit word karma comes to mean fate. So in that sense, some, not all, okay, some Burmese Buddhists believe in fatalism, in fate, that it's meant to be like that, it's predestined to be like that. Of course, some of the things that happen may be exactly due to past karma. But how do we know? We are not in a position to see past lives, to see the future. My meditation is not, most Buddhists, that meditation is not developed to that extent. So that is to say, it's usually wrong to attribute something or some unfortunate event straight away, automatically, and passively to karma. Some people do that in a way that this is a kind of predestiny. So this is a very important one. Karma walks the middle path in a sense that it avoids two extremes. One of the extremes I have just spoken, which is strict determination. Strict determinism. Okay. Some people would think your creator has created you and has determined you will live how many years and in which form. That's totally according to his wish. This is also determinism. The other determinism is to be predetermined by your own past action, past karma. So both determinism is something that Buddhism rejects. The other one is to reject cause and effect at all, because karma is about cause and effect. Is a philosophy of causality, so cause and effect. In simple terms, people usually explain if you injure people, or if you have injured people in the past with bad intention, then you will have bad health, you will have short life, that sort of thing. The Buddha himself said this, but we mustn't take this mechanically in a fixed way. We have a lot of rooms to maneuver. The Buddha's point of teaching karma is not to depress us, not to discourage us from doing anything good. Actually, he is encouraging us to modify, to change for the better, to change for the better. So people who reject causality, cause and effect, they are called indeterminism. The philosophy, they hold the philosophy of indeterminism. Nothing is, there's no cause that determines the results. Everything happens by chance, according to them, because they can't see very far and they don't remember a lot of the past. So what they can remember here and now, they can connect between the cause and the effect. As a result, they don't think in the line of the process of cause and effect. What the Buddha is saying is that if we believe in strict determinism, and there's no meaning, there's no point to the practice of, good behavior, moral life, being good. No point to this, because everything is predetermined already. It may be by someone, or it may be by our own past karma. So this is the side effect of, not the, this is the the consequences of holding strict determinism. But then if we hold a view of indeterminism, then what's the point of doing anything good at all? Because good or bad in the world happens only by chance. Our own effort wouldn't make any difference, according to indeterminism. That is why, to understand Buddhist karma, we need to know that it's centered on the middle path. It avoids two extremes, namely strict determinism and also indeterminism. The law of karma is that governs rebirth, the process of rebirth. All Indian religions believe in rebirth. And with rebirth, and also with karma, people explain why there is suffering, why there is inequality in the society. It's meant to inform us that we might have done something good. That is why we are good here. We live in comfort. Or we might have done something bad. That is why, okay, certain things happen to us. Knowing this, we should be mindful of our thoughts, our action. That's the message. If we are mindful, and if we are mindful of the reality of human life, that human life is such a vulnerable thing, not just human life, but all living beings, you know, their life is such a vulnerable one. We think we are so perfectly healthy, and then the COVID-19 comes, everybody lives in fear. And we think everything, okay, was going on so well. The figure with the GDP, with the economic return, everything looks good. And then all the rich country, from all the rich country to everyone in the world, they feel so vulnerable in the face of the COVID-19 and the lockdown. Lockdown, 5 months, 6 months, 4 months, we feel so vulnerable already. So the Buddhist message on this is that we need to focus on the pain, the vulnerability of life, and be kind to each other. Because when we talk about rebirth, there are fortunate rebirths and there are unfortunate ones. The unfortunate ones, like the animals and the woeful states like hell, like this. But the idea of heavens and hell in Buddhism is different from the one in Abrahamic religions, in that there's no permanent hell and there's no permanent heaven. Everything has a limit. Okay, everything is changeable. If somebody is reborn in heaven, that's because of his good karma. He has done something good. In Buddhist text, for example, somebody who is very kind to his neighbors, to other people, to parents, to teachers, And somebody who is very socially active, taking care of the social needs of the society, maybe repairing roads, bridges, those days. And these days, you know, people don't do that by themselves anymore. They ask the government to do it for them. Instead, they pay taxes. So everyone is the road builders or the donors or the sponsors, in the sense that they pay taxes, and the government can only build those things with their taxes. So if when we pay our tax, if we have in our mind the right attitude, we pay this not because we don't want to break the law, not because we are forced by the law, but because of the need of the society, the need of those people who can't really work, children and pensioners, for example. And also to do something for the next generation, just as our forefathers and previous generation have done something for us. And when we are born, we are ready, okay, with school, with hospitals, with public road, public transport, like this. So it's a sense of moral responsibility that we pay taxes. So if we have this attitude, actually, through your taxes, you are accumulating a lot of good karma. A lot of good karma. But if you pay your taxes and you moan all the time, I don't know, it may be mixed. It may be a mixed karma. So rebirth, you know, we go round and round. So that process and the cycle of birth and rebirth is called samsara, as we all know. And rebirth takes many forms and in different places, and that's what we call the wheel of life. And it's karma that determines the order, and the order of, if you want to use the word universe, is the order of the universe, the order of life, going around life after life. It doesn't happen in a chaotic way, but it happens based on our karma, which is our intention, our intentional action. Knowing this, accepting this, what we can do therefore is to check our intention all the time. It's the 3 poisons we discuss. Okay, we discuss that define our volition. If our volition is associated with any one of the 3 poisons in any degree, that can be considered bad karma. If our volition is associated with the opposite emotion, which are positive, like generosity, loving kindness, understanding, compassion, then our karma is good karma. I think I'm ready to have your questions.
Thank you, Bhante. question here, which is, if there is no permanent self and Buddhism doesn't accept strict determinism, what is capable of making intentional action? Thank you.
Intention is the function of the mind. The mind has many. Buddhism analyzes the mind in details. For the last 2,600 years in the Buddhism, the main interest of Buddhism is in the function of the mind. The function of the mind. Then, okay, if somebody gets angry, we say anger is the function of the mind. Anger is an impersonal characteristic of the mind, an impersonal phenomenon of the mind. Is subject to impermanent. Anger comes and goes. Impersonal in the sense that whenever anger happens, it happens like this to everyone, in everyone, everywhere. So with this concept, okay, we talk about here anger, we can replace that anger with kindness. It's all about training the mind. We have what the mind is capable of cultivating unwholesome qualities, such as hatred, such as jealousy, insecure feeling, irritation, fear, for example. The mind is also capable of cultivating positive qualities, such as mindfulness, such as kindness, compassion, wisdom, understanding, generosity, like that. So the question of who makes that intention is very new to, or very unfamiliar to us, because we don't think in that way. What we think is that the intention is there. It comes from the will to live, love of life. That is why we have intention to do things. It's part of having this life. But then what we are talking is we can be on top of this intention. We can control this intention. If we have understanding of the reality of life, that life involves some pain, that our actions has consequences. That is why we need to be kind to each other so that we all live in harmony and less suffering. So if we understand this way, we are changing our intention for the better. Otherwise, like fear, insecure feeling, all those things, they will turn our intention into negative ones. I'm saying that we are affected by our environment as well. So, intention is always there. Some of the intentions are neutral, they are innocent. Okay, intention to do something which has no moral implication. The intention to, if I have the intention to clean my office, this has no moral impact. But nevertheless, there's an intention. But then If I want to impress people and I clean my room, this intention is based on fear because I fear of being judged by anyone walking into my office. But if I just think, okay, anyone who visits me in my office, I want them to feel comfortable, to feel good, to be relaxed. With that kindness, then my intention becomes good. Good intention. So that's what and how we care about our intention.
Thank you. Does needs
I can't hear you, Marlon. Sorry, can you repeat again?
Yes. Does guilt or remorse have any effect on karma? Does guilt or remorse about previous bad deeds have any effect on karma?
They can. That is why we talk about unwholesome in Abhidhamma. If you know about, if you have read about that, we distinguish different negative thoughts. And guilt is one. Okay, guilt is one of them. Here, when we say guilt, we are talking about the auto mind, the subconscious mind that plays, okay, this guilt again and again. It's not a conscious examination, not a conscious investigation of our past action. Okay, it's associated with automatic, subconscious, habitual mind. In that sense, guilt is negative. But if we talk about examining our behavior and we see how it has impacted negatively on others, and we feel bad about that, we're doing this consciously, mindfully. And we own up to our action, we accept it, we try to do better, then that conscious examination of guilt is good. Okay. We shouldn't say yes and no, in the, so with blanket, like guilt is good or bad. We need to analyze it this way, because we all have done something we regret, but it's about how we recover from that, how we move on from that. The way to move on is to accept it, to accept our limit, our ignorance, to accept that a mistake has happened, to accept that it's painful to us, painful to others. If we go through this process is called a skillful process, and it will bring us a lot of good. So it's not an automatic mind spinning around with guilt. I think we can have one more question, if you like.
Thank you.
Two more questions, maybe two more. Yeah.
One question is, do actions determine where we will be born in our next life?
Generally, we can say yes. Action means volitional action, something that we have intention and we carry it out. Good thing, bad thing, we carry it out. And if it's strong enough, it is strong enough, because some of the action, they are not strong enough to bear any fruits. They may be an ingredient, okay, when a big karma gives results, good or bad, but they themselves, they are not capable of causing or initiating any results. Put it that way. I don't want to go into scriptures. We just say some of the karma, some of the action are so strong that they may give results. Strong in the sense that, okay, it's determined also by other condition. Other condition. I may have the intention to harm somebody, but only in the course of defending myself. First, I was defending myself, then along the way, I feel so threatened that it came to my mind, I thought I must eliminate this person. So there's an intention, but that intention, there was no premeditated ideas. Nevertheless, there's an intention. And it also about the one that I harm, okay, the person that I harm, whether that person is really how I would say, if the person is so innocent, if the person is somebody who is trying to harm me, if the person has really bad thoughts towards me and perhaps towards other people, and maybe the karma is less than harming the good and moral people. But that kind of thing is taken into consideration. Of course, all lives are value, but this is to say, to harm which life is more harmful, or bring more heavier, more gravier consequences. So we need to take into consideration about different factors in determining karma. I may have done a lot of good karma, and some of them may not have borne any fruit so far. I may have had a lot of bad karma, and I may have done something bad as well, and they may not have yet, okay, ripen in terms of fruition. So before we attain enlightenment, there will always be karma, okay, to give results in the pipeline. Put it that. Maybe one more, Marlon.
Yes. I have a question here, which is it correct that good intention should not be to benefit myself, but to benefit others?
I must qualify the question. If to benefit myself is, for example, so that I reduce my suffering. I don't think there is anything wrong with that. But when I say to benefit myself is to bring prestige, to bring fames and gains, okay, for my personal benefit. Maybe that's not good intention. Something that I do for myself, okay, it can be with pure intent as well. This is to say, when you cook for yourself on daily basis, if you understand the real nature of this body, that this body is so vulnerable, it relies on food. From baby to adults, okay, every few hours we need to eat something. And this happens to everyone. As a result, this physical body is a vulnerable one. With that, compassionate mind, if I take care of my body, I think I'm doing some good karma. But it takes extra effort to share what I cook with other people. It takes some extra effort because it means I have to work harder. I need to earn more, you know, in order to share with other people. Or I have to go with less, okay, so that I can share with other people. You can see the effort that we need to make to share with other people. The psychological process that we have to pass, through to establish good intention for other people. Here, your question can also mean that, okay, do we do something good for other people with a certain motive for ourselves? Your question can also be understood in this way. And this intention can be analyzed in the context of the three poisons. I explain the three poisons in terms of self-centeredness. If I want to help you so that I can become bigger, I can become so that I mean, in a form of self-promotion, and obviously that intention is not pure. It's not pure. Of course, the best thing is to recognize pain, suffering, vulnerability, limitation of life in other people, and then do something for them. And when we reflect in the same way, in the same skillful way, and we do something for us, for ourselves, it should still be considered as wholesome. I hope my answer is not too complicated, because karma is such a complicated matter that some people, they want to simplify it, that they make mistake of equating Buddhist karma with either strict determinism or fatalism. If you don't mind, if I'd like to stop here and we continue tomorrow. Is that okay with you?
Yes. Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for your understanding.